Welcome back. Welcome back. You man, Dom McKay in here, of course. The Dom McKay Show on fire-tv.com, on fire-tv.com. You know, I saw this day coming. I did. Saw this day coming. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland yesterday named a former federal prosecutor, Jack Smith, as the special counsel for two pending criminal investigations by the Department of Justice of former President Donald Trump. You may ask yourself, why? Why is he doing this? Here's why. The indictment is coming. He just doesn't want to seem like it is political because he's a political appointee. He doesn't want to make it seem like it is so political. So he has, because he was appointed by President Trump, right? So Merrick Garland doesn't want to just come out and say, boom, we're going to indict Trump. He wants to have an independent person involved looking at the facts that he's going to obviously bring back to Merrick Garland that says, yes, it is cool for you to indict him. He has broken the law. That's why this is happening. Smith's appointment came 3 days after Trump announced his plans to run for president in 2024. He's trying to get the Republican nomination. So one case that Smith will handle is focused on whether Trump broke the law and obstructed justice in connection with his removal of those documents from the White House. You remember that debacle. You know, they shipped all these documents to his residence in Palm Beach, Florida. Shipped all of these sensitive documents to Mar-a-Lago. I guess he thought that was a good idea. I guess he has become so emboldened by the fact that he has not faced any consequences for pretty much anything that he just thought it was a good idea to do this. He's been allowed to do stuff for so long, and there's been no consequences. So now it appears consequences may be coming. The other probe is related to the January 6th Capitol riot by the mob of Trump supporters, him trying to overturn the election. In addition to previously serving as a career Department of Justice prosecutor, Smith also is the former chief prosecutor for a special court in Hague, the Netherlands. In that post, he investigated war crimes in Kosovo. So he has the resume. The appointment was revealed during a public statement from the Department of Justice. Garland said this: "It is in the public interest to appoint a special prosecutor to independently manage an investigation and prosecution based on recent developments, including the former president's announcement that he is a candidate for president in the next election and the sitting president's stated intention to be a candidate as well." So this was coming, but Trump's lackluster, low energy announcement that he's running for president actually brought this on even quicker. If you want to say it's been quick, because it hasn't been quick. This has been a long time coming. Attorney General said that he was confident that the appointment will not slow the completion of these investigations. We will see. He said that he's going to ensure that the special counsel receives the resources to conduct this work quickly and completely. Now, I've been talking a whole lot of trash about Garland. I mean, because he's pretty much just been sitting there You know, like what are you doing, fam? But it appears that he is doing something. He just got a different way of doing it. He just got a different way of doing it. This appointment of this special counsel could tamp down concerns that there would be this conflict of interest if it was decided to prosecute Trump. Trump should be prosecuted based on the public-facing information. Imagine all the stuff that they have access to that we don't even know about. The public-facing stuff really points towards prosecution. As we said, Joe Biden defeated Trump in his 2020 re-election bid. Biden could face Trump again in the 2024 election. Biden just turned 80 years old, by the way, today. Wow. Crazy times that we live in. Crazy times that we live in. Of course, just tuning in. It's the Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com. On fire-tv.com. You can check me out live episodes weekdays, 6 p.m. right here. But as information develops, as things unfold, I will hop on and do this. But definitely, you want to support what we're doing, visit onfire-tv.com, onfire-tv.com, of course, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Let's do this, take a quick break. I'm going to come right back with more of the show after this. Welcome back. You man, Diamond K in here, of course, on fire-tv.com, on fire-tv.com. So we're talking about Trump. We're talking about these criminal probes. There are 3 criminal probes that are standing as Trump enters this 2024 race. I mean, never before in American history have we experienced something like this. Never before have we had someone trying to become president have this kind of cloud, have this kind of scrutiny against him. Now, what's so bizarre about this is that most folks, even his supporters, even Trump supporters, don't doubt that he's corrupt. They don't. They just say, I mean, he's smart, or he's playing the game, or he's trying to weed out. I mean, they'll come up with some excuse, but they don't say he's not corrupt because they just accept it. But Trump has significant legal baggage. He has not been charged with any crimes, let me say that. But he does face exposure from multiple probes. And they are expected to ramp up now that, the midterms are gone. The pressure to file any charges is increasing. The first ever indictment of a former president would not bar Trump from running for re-election. He will not. But a historic move like this would almost certainly destabilize the country and definitely deepen the emerging division within the Republican Party. There's no way around it. You got some of these folks that are tired of Trump, just want him to go away. And you got other folks that welcome the chaos that he brings because they think it will help their agenda. So here are 3 investigations surrounding Trump. The Department of Justice, DOJ, probe into Trump's potentially unlawful retention of classified records after leaving the White House. You have that. That's going to ramp up soon. Experts believe that based on what's publicly known, there is enough evidence to pursue charges against Trump for the mishandling of national defense information. This is the stuff that we already know. In January, Trump returned 15 boxes of records, which were later discovered to contain 100 classified documents, including highly sensitive materials. Right? I mean, it is mind-blowing. It is mind-blowing that the fact that we're even dealing with this. Mind-blowing. Can you imagine if former President Obama had this kind of stuff hanging over his head? Oh, Republicans and Democrats, for that matter, would be losing their collective minds. They would be losing their collective minds. If this was anybody else. Anybody else. The Department of Justice investigation of the January 6th attack, the scope has extended to Trump's orbit. The Department of Justice is also probing Trump's actions surrounding January 6, 2021. You know, the attack on the Capitol. Now, this investigation has been largely overshadowed by the Trump classified records case. But the January 6th investigation has been steadily expanding over the nearly 2 years since the attack. In addition to charging some 950 people with crimes related to the January 6th riot, the department's probe now extends to members of Trump's orbit, his friend circle. And of course, we can't forget the president's own actions. Now, there is no public evidence that Trump is currently the subject of a criminal investigation on this front. But with the appointment of the special counsel, we don't know what's coming up next. We don't know what's coming up next, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Now, investigation of the Georgia election interference charges could arrive before the year's end. Let's not forget about that. The Atlanta-based prosecution or the prosecutor's investigation into Trump's effort to overturn his 2020 electoral defeat in Georgia, that represents a significant legal challenge, significant legal exposure for the former president. Decisions over whether to bring charges in that case may come before the end of the year, according to previous statements by Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis and recent reporting on her office's anticipated timeline. Something could come from that, or not. We're going to see. I agree with Steven. He says Trump for prison. I like the sound of that. Definitely like the sound of that. Just tune in to the Dominic K Show on fire-tv.com, on fire-tv.com. Let's do this. Take a quick break, and we'll be back with more of the show after this.
Looking for food that feeds your soul? Hoodfellas Bistro and Catering is your local African-American-owned restaurant offering American cuisine. Located across from the courthouse, we offer daily jury specials to reward civic duty. Enjoy our full-service restaurant and fully stocked bar. Dine in, pick up, delivery, and catering. Our themed happy hours feature live music, handcrafted drinks, and weekly specials. Book your private event at hoodfellowsbistrocatering.com.
Welcome back. You and Diamond K in here, of course. The Diamond K Show onfire-tv.com, onfire-tv.com, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. So we were talking about Fulton County's prosecutor, Fani Willis, and I guess we got to bring up Young Thug and Gunna. The YSL RICO trial is set to begin in January 2023. Young Thug and Gunna appeared in court last week where they received some good news regarding the RICO trial against them and over 24 of their YSL affiliates. The prosecution asked the judge to delay the trial until March, but that motion was denied. So you may say, why is this good news? It's good news because they wanted more time. Evidently they needed more time, and the judge said, you've had enough time, we're going with January. Prosecutors requested this delay. Some of the co-defendants don't have lawyers. Now, the judge felt that delaying the trial would be an unfair thing to the co-defendants who have been incarcerated without bond. And I mean, I have to agree with her there. So the judge added, agree with him. Judge is male. The judge added that he would consider holding a separate trial for the co-defendants without lawyers. He said that he would consider that. But the prosecution wants all the members tied together. So what's going to happen there? I don't know. I think that it's just an unfortunate situation, really, when you think about it. It's unfortunate. You got some people with lawyers, some people without. They've been trying to get out. I mean, they've been trying to get out on bond since they were first taken into custody. Most of these people have no bonds, and that is something that weighs heavily on the court, according to the judge, in terms of the start date for this trial. Judge says that they deserve to have a right to go to trial. The YSL RICO trial is expected to start January 5th. Jury selection will begin. Trial is expected to last 6 to 9 months. 6 to 9 months. Young Thug, Gunna, and 26 others have been indicted for racketeering and gang activity. So, I mean, this is definitely something that the hip hop community has been paying attention to, and a 6 to 9 month trial for two big stars is major news. Major news. Yeah, I hope they get a fair trial. Now, let's keep in mind, Fani Willis is also trying to prosecute Trump. She's got a lot of things going on right now. A lot of things going on. Just tune in to the Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com, on fire-tv.com, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Looking for food that feeds your soul? Hoodfellas Bistro and Catering is your local African-American owned restaurant offering American cuisine. Located across from the courthouse, we offer daily jury specials to reward civic duty. Enjoy our full-service restaurant and fully stocked bar. Dine in, pick up, delivery, and catering. Our themed happy hours feature live music, handcrafted drinks, and weekly specials. Book your private event at hoodfellowsbistrocatering.com.
Welcome back. You man Diamond K in here, of course, the Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com, on fire-tv.com. Welcome back. Now, according to reports, R. Kelly, disgraced singer R. Kelly, his ex-manager has been sentenced to 20 months for harassing the singer's victims. So Donnell Russell was sentenced for threatening. I mean, it's a crazy case, and I remember when it excuse me. I remember when it first was coming to light. This is in Brooklyn, New York. The ex-manager pleaded guilty to one count of interstate stalking. One count of interstate stalking. The harassment of the victim started after she filed a civil lawsuit against R. Kelly and continued after it was noted the person was a victim in the federal case of the singer and could potentially testify. The U.S. Attorney's Office in the Eastern District of New York said that Russell reportedly threatened to publicly put out sexually explicit photos of the person, who was also connected to Kelly's case. Prosecutors said that Russell went as far as mailing a letter to the victim's attorney in November of 2018, which featured crop nude photos of the woman. Russell was previously convicted of calling in an active shooter threat that was supposed to be showing a screening of Surviving R. Kelly's documentary back in 2018. You remember that? It's just a fiasco. Just a fiasco. Yeah, I don't have a lot to say about it. It's crazy. Just tune in to the Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com, on fire-tv.com, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. Let's do this. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back. Diamond K in here, of course, the Diamond K Show on fire-tv.com. Now, last weekend, Dave Chappelle hosted Saturday Night Live, SNL. Now, I don't watch Saturday Night Live often. I don't. I used to, as many of you probably did back in the day. Back in the day, it was funny. Now, what happens now is that if there is a high-profile host, somebody that I want to check out on there, I'll watch it then. But generally speaking, I ain't checking for it. Now, this was a high-ratings show. Dave Chappelle hosted. Controversy, no surprise there. And Jerry Seinfeld is saying that Dave Chappelle's monologue, this controversial monologue, calls for a conversation. Says that he wants to have a conversation about some of the things that Dave Chappelle said in the monologue. Now, I don't know why. I don't know why. And maybe it does call for a conversation, because I'd like to know what exactly he said that is offensive. And I don't think there's anything wrong with the conversation. But Jerry Seinfeld, the legendary comedian Seinfeld, says that the subject matter of the monologue calls for a conversation. What do you mean? It calls for a conversation. What is he talking about? He says, Jerry Seinfeld, that the comedy was not well executed. That means that he said it wasn't funny. Now, of course, Chappelle sparked controversy over comments that he made during the opening routine. Critics accuse him of popularizing and normalizing anti-Semitic speak. I don't know how you get that from that monologue. I don't know how you get it from that monologue. Steven on YouTube is saying that Dave made the show hilarious again. I agree, Steven. I don't understand, what, and I don't have a problem having a conversation about it. If folks that were offended want to have a conversation, I would love to have it, because I want to know, what did he say? Speaking about a serious subject, there is a line that you can walk. But Seinfeld, of course, who is Jewish, was asked his thoughts on the Jon Stewart and Colbert's recent debate over the Chappelle monologue. So Seinfeld said that he did not think that the comedy was well executed, but I think the subject matter calls for a conversation that I don't think I'd want to have in this venue. When asked if the routine made him feel uncomfortable, he said it provokes a conversation which hopefully is productive. And I'm sure that they're cool. I'm sure you can call them up and say, yo, Dave, whatever. I felt blah, 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 blah. And yeah, I'd like to hear that. The Seinfeld star was then asked if he planned to have that conversation with Chappelle, as comedians, they appear to have a pretty cool relationship. But he said that I don't have a close relationship with them. We're friends, but it's not a close relationship. So I don't know. I don't know. In the monologue, if you haven't seen it, Dave Chappelle joked about recent anti-Semitic remarks. Well, I don't know if he joked about the remarks. I think he more so joked about the reaction of Kanye to the remarks, or lack thereof. He said in the monologue that Kanye West should have apologized to give himself some time. He said that he should have apologized. So what about that is offensive? He said that he should have apologized. Chappelle said on the monologue, if you didn't check it out, because some people have just written him off. He said that I've probably been doing this for 35 years now. And early in my career, I learned there are two words in the English language which you should never say together in sequence. And those words are the and Jews. I have never heard someone do good after they said that. He basically is saying, don't talk crazy about Jewish people. What's wrong with that? Let me see what Steven's saying on YouTube. He said it's comedy. If Paul Mooney had been the host, Jerry would have lost his mind. You are right. Paul Mooney was vicious. Paul Mooney would not have held back, Steven is saying. Steven on YouTube is also saying that Dave made more of a shot at Kanye than anything. I agree. It wasn't like Dave Chappelle was speaking negatively about Jewish people at all. Like not one thing. He told Kanye he should have apologized. And he basically said that Kanye was so radioactive that Kyrie got pulled into the whole thing just for, relation. You know what I mean? The timing. What's wrong with that? I don't get it. Like I said, I'd love to have a conversation with some Jewish folks that were offended by this, or I'd love to hear a summary of a conversation that Seinfeld and Chappelle could have. Now, later on in the monologue, Chappelle explained why the anti-Semitic belief that Jewish people collectively run the world is flawed. He said it wasn't true, right? He said that it was not true and compared it to anti-Black racism in parts of America. I don't understand what more you want from a comedian. Chappelle said that I've been to Hollywood and this is just what I saw. It's a lot of Jews. Like a lot, Chappelle said. But that doesn't mean anything. There are a lot of Black people in Ferguson, Missouri, but that doesn't mean we run the place. I actually thought that was funny. Some people didn't. He said that I can see if you had some kind of issue, you might go out to Hollywood and you might start connecting some lines, and you could maybe adopt the delusion that Jews run show business, It's not a crazy thing to think, but it's a crazy thing to say out loud in a climate like this. Now, that there may be something that some folks are offended by. That line again, you might go out to Hollywood and you might start connecting some lines. You could maybe adopt the delusion. He said the delusion, though. He said delusion. It's delusional to think this, that Jewish folks run show business, he said. It's not a crazy thing to think, but it's a crazy thing to say out loud, he said. I don't understand why he's getting the backlash he's getting, other than it's just Dave Chappelle. Now, his monologue, of course, attracted some criticism on social media. Some arguing that he, is racist and he has harmful views. Jonathan Greenblatt, CEO of the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, said that we should not expect Dave Chappelle to serve as society's moral compass, but disturbing to see that NBC Saturday Night Live not just normalized but popularized anti-Semitism. And he continued, why are Jewish sensitivities denied or diminished at almost every turn? Why does our trauma trigger applause? I think that that's taken it a little bit too far. You've already acknowledged that he's not a political person. He's not the moral compass. Jonathan Greenblatt already said that. He is a comedian. He's an entertainer. And he's not speaking negatively about Jewish people. He's just speaking, I think, negatively about people who have gotten caught up in anti-Semitism. So he's not joking about anti-Semitism. He's joking about idiots who said anti-Semitic things. That's not the same thing. Now, of course, they've been criticized for booking him in the past. I don't think that they're going to stop booking him because he brings so many eyeballs to Saturday Night Live. Netflix, he brings a lot of views over there. I doubt that he's going to go anywhere anytime soon. From those platforms are going to continue to want to do business with him. Definitely going to continue to want to do business with him. He did make the question of why do so many Jewish folks dress like Run DMC, which was hilarious and a good point. Okay, saying that they dress like Run DMC, I'm telling you, I was dying laughing when he said that, because I mean, the all black, the hat. I mean, anybody that knows how Run DMC dresses, I thought it was the fedora hats or whatever. I thought it was funny. I thought it was a cool thing. Now, we got to understand this. We're so sensitive. You can make a joke, so that you can make a joke about something and not be anti that thing, right? There's such thing as a joke, and there's such thing as disrespect. And there may be there's a line there, but I don't think that Dave Chappelle crossed the line. There are jokes that can be made about slavery. I've heard plenty of people make jokes about slavery. Eddie Murphy has famously made jokes about slavery. That doesn't mean that he's anti-black. He has. Now, I mean, of course, Eddie Murphy has also made jokes, about gay people or smacking women, and he can't make those jokes now, right? In the 80s, there were some things that he said on Delirious that he can't say now. But his joke about slavery, when he was saying, people were saying, if I was a slave back then, I'd tell the master something. Like, he said that. And then he said it after the whip came and then, people got in line. But he said that the first person off the boat probably said, yo, master something, you know what I mean? And then there was a whip, and then the next people in line said, oh, no, that's okay. We're going to go ahead and bail the hay, right? That's a joke about slavery. You do not. It is not offensive to me being a descendant of enslaved people. It's not offensive for me to hear that joke. I'm not offended by the fact that he said that. It was a joke. Okay, it was a joke. And we definitely, Steven said that people are like super oversensitive. Oh, oversensitive to that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, of course. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at The Diamond K Show. At The Diamond K Show. Man, I love these conversations. You know what I'm saying? I love these conversations. And of course, everything, and I've said this, many times, everything, I may not get it. I may not understand the underlying meaning or why someone's offended by something. But if you know why, please let me know. DJDiamondK@gmail.com, of course, YouTube.com/DJDiamondK, YouTube.com/DJDiamondK. So let's take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this.
Looking for food that feeds your soul? Hoodfellas Bistro and Catering is your local African-American owned restaurant offering American cuisine. Located across from the courthouse, we offer daily jury specials to reward civic duty. Enjoy our full-service restaurant and fully stocked bar. Dine in, pick up, delivery, and catering. Our themed happy hours feature live music, handcrafted drinks, and weekly specials. Book your private event at hoodfellowsbistrocatering.com.
Welcome back. You man Diamond K in here, of course. The Diamond K Show, onfire-tv.com, onfire-tv.com. So I wanted to unpack something before we close out for today. I wanted to unpack the 21 Savage, Nas. He has a new album called King's Disease 3. And the relevancy debate. So there's always been this thing that this is relevant, that's not relevant. And 21 Savage, who I love as a rapper, I love 21 Savage, love Nas as well. 21 Savage said in a Clubhouse chat that the Illmatic rapper Nas is no longer relevant, adding that he just has a loyal fan base. I don't understand how these two things go together. If you're not relevant, that means you don't have a fan base. If you are not relevant, that means nobody's checking for you. You can't say that you are irrelevant, but you got a loyal fan base. The two things conflict. 21 Savage says that I don't feel like he's relevant. I just feel like he got a loyal fan base. He still makes good music. What are you talking about? Sometimes entertainers get themselves in trouble when they talk unscripted, right? We talk about Biden needs a teleprompter, Trump needs a teleprompter. Sometimes rappers, singers, and actors, they need a teleprompter. Now, because when they're saying to rap off their phone, okay, we like it. But then when they just start talking freely, yo, what are you talking about? Of course, there was backlash. And he took to social media to clarify, writing that I would never disrespect Nas or any legend who paved the way for me. What you said already was disrespectful. What are you talking about? He said that y'all be trying to take stuff and run with it. You said it. You said it. Many people have spoken out to address 21 Savage, including Jungle from the Bravehearts, Nas' brother, Kodak Black, and others. Nas, I guess, seemingly responded to the situation, posting a photo. In the caption, he posted the crying, laughing emoji face and the word love. Word love. So it had me wondering if we could have this conversation, and I thought to bring it up, and I said, maybe I shouldn't bring it up. No, I'm going to bring it up. What is relevancy? There are different degrees of relevancy, right? If to a 5-year-old, there can be something that's relevant to a 5-year-old. I can't say like every 5-year-old. Let's go back to I don't know. Back in the day, Cabbage Patch Kids. What were the little heads? The things with the funny trolls. Remember, I had trolls, and then there's some other kind of Baby Alive. I'm thinking of all these different toys that were relevant to kids. They weren't relevant to adults, but they were relevant to kids. And then there were those little scooter things, like the Razor scooters. And then there were the other scooters, the motorized ones with no handles on it, and people were just falling over, right? Remember those? Relevant for certain people, but not relevant for everybody. Nothing is relevant for everybody. You got different things for different people, different strokes for different folks, right? So let's talk about music. Talk about music. If you say somebody is not relevant, just because it's not relevant to you doesn't mean that it's irrelevant. It just means that you don't like it. But there could be millions of people that like it. But because you say it's irrelevant, that means it's irrelevant? No. Come on now. That doesn't make sense. So you got 20-year-old rappers right now. To somebody who's 50, they may not even know who that 20-year-old rapper is. And if you're at an old school concert and that 20-year-old rapper comes out, the people are going to be looking at him like, who is this? And he may sing his popular song with 20-year-olds. And he's performing on stage. But it's a crowd of 50-year-olds. They don't know that song. They don't like that song. To them, that 20-year-old rapper is irrelevant. They ain't checking for him. But you take that same rapper and you put him in a crowd of high school kids, and he's going to kill it. That doesn't mean he's irrelevant. That just means that wasn't his crowd. And for a lot of rappers, they look at somebody like Nas or somebody like Jay-Z, and that may not be their crowd. But don't get it confused. They are very relevant. Nas is very relevant. Nas' first album came out 28 years ago. The fact that he still comes up in a conversation shows relevancy. 28 years from now, are we still going to be talking about 21 Savage? I don't know. But I can think of some songs that I played 15 years ago in clubs. Rappers had hits 15 years ago. And they could walk in right now with the group, the age group right now that was listening to them then, and they may not know who they are. Relevancy is a tricky thing. Relevancy is a tricky thing. So you can say that somebody is not relevant, but you personalize that, and sometimes people get it confused. I listened to Nas's album earlier today on the way to the studio. Loud, in my car, cranking, loud. Oh, and it is fire. I suggest you check it out. King's Disease 3. Hard, okay? 21 Savage and Drake's album. Listen to that on the way to the studio yesterday. Loud, cranking. It's hard. It is. You don't have to pick between a genre or a time. Music is music. And if it's hip hop and it's cranking, if it's hip hop and it's hot, it's hot. The only thing that's relevant to me is good music. I don't care how old the person is that made it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, of course. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, at the MK Show. At the W. Some of these comments. see what we got up here. I don't know what is going on here. Can you get that? All right, so let's see if we can see some of these comments. Okay. Making good music is still relevant, Steven says on YouTube. Yes, I agree with that. I think that is the bottom line, making good music. Steven also says that Karis One and PE are still putting out great music. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Karis One, Public Enemy, legendary. In fact, Daddy on Stetsasonic are making a comeback. Wait, what? How did I not know this? Daddy on Stetsasonic? Yeah. You talking all that jazz, fam. De La in the studio right now putting together new tunes. Yes, love De La Soul. Yeah, those are legendary artists. Legendary artists. So amid this debate, DJ Vlad of Vlad TV pulled up the Spotify's top 50 songs, which featured Drake and 21 Savage, Taylor Swift, Lil Uzi Vert, SZA. Vlad pointed out that most people focus on first week sales because when a new album drops, people usually listen to it. That's true. But when you say people, you're talking about people of a certain age, because other people listen to what they want to hear and don't pay attention to that. So I think that it depends on the age of the consumer. Vlad also showed that Nas did not have one song from King's Disease 3 on the list, which he said he thinks 21 Savage was trying to prove about his Nas comments, that he didn't have none of his music was in the top whatever on Spotify or Billboard or whatever. And that's that. So is that your is that your mark for relevancy? What is the charting of said album at that time? I don't use that as my measuring stick, because I know a lot of albums, a lot of artists with songs that chart, but can't seem to sell a lot of tickets to see them perform. What's happening with DaBaby right now? DaBaby's on a lot of these charts. DaBaby's name is on a lot of the Spotify top whatever, but all the talk is that he can't sell tickets to his concerts now. Is that a relevancy thing? 21 Savage? I'm sure he's not going to have anything to say about that, because that gets into something that's more complex that maybe he has not thought about, because he's just rambling, just running, just saying things. Nas is very relevant. 21 Savage is very relevant. Consistency makes you relevant, and people loving your content makes you relevant. Definitely. Steven says that their new video for Here We Go Again is on YouTube and samples the Isley Brothers tune of the same. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Thank you. I'm going to check that out. Definitely going to check that out. So 21 Savage is relevant. He has been consistent. He makes good songs. I like him. Now, some people don't really gravitate to the simple, flow that he has. Some people think that Nas is too complicated with his flow. I like them both. Time and place. Time and place for everything. Of course, the John McKay Show. I am here. 6 p.m. on fire-tv.com, on demand on fire-tv.com. Of course, you can check me out, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. We are going to be having a Thanksgiving mash out. I'm going to be on the turntables, spinning hip hop, R&B, club music. Oh, yeah, it's going to be crazy. Thanksgiving starting at 12 noon on fire-tv.com, youtube.com/DJ Diamond K. So definitely check that out. Looking forward to that. I'm going to spend a lot of things. DJ Diamond K at gmail.com. to send me music. Sorry, I can't say anything about 21 Savage until tonight. I never heard of him. Oh my goodness. Are you serious? Never heard of 21 Savage? He's got a new album with Drake. It is an album with Drake called Her Loss. Check that out. I don't know though, but if you like Stetsasonic and De La and Nas, KRS, PE, you may not like 21 Savage too much. I mean, I don't know. You may not, but definitely check out some 21 Savage and let me know what you think about that. Of course, onfire-tv.com/watch to check us out live on YouTube. Just search the Diamond K Show, DJ Diamond K, and definitely subscribe to the page. You want to see any past episodes of the show, anywhere you get podcasts, just search the Diamond K Show or just go to onfire-tv.com/Diamond K. Want to send me music? Easy to do that. Booking information, any business info, djdiamondk@gmail.com, djdiamondk@gmail.com. It's been a lot of fun. I always look forward to sitting down and, just talking about stuff. A lot of things, politics, entertainment, what have you. Steven says, I don't keep up on new acts. Now, I feel you. Like you kind of get in a certain lane, and that is the lane that you want to stay in, and I don't have any problem with that. All right? Okay, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
It's the Diamond K Show.
So much going on in the world. You talk about things from the perspective of how it is. DJ Diamond K, sometimes it comes off like you are almost not in support of, but you just accept the way things are and there's no chance of change. Check me out on YouTube. That's the part that I am just like,
OnFireTV.com.